Hey everybody, welcome back to the shop. I'm Chad Schimmel, and today I'm going to be talking about the X CARVE. This machine was sent to me by Inventables to use and review and share some information with you, so I want to do that today. So as I talk about this, I'm going to show you some time-lapse video of the build. It was really incredible how this thing came literally in every single piece being disassembled. I totally understand why, because this is maker configured, and that allows you to pick and choose the parts you want. They pack them up and send it to you, and you put it together. Keep in mind, when you are doing that, putting it together yourself, you're saving yourself a lot of money, and you're really learning the machine in a way that you couldn't do so by buying an already assembled machine. So the X CARVE I got is the 1000 by 1000 millimeter, and you're going to need some space for this one. It's a big unit and it's going to take up a lot of room. I really haven't determined where this is going to go. Luckily I have this 4x8 table that I was able to build it on, and I'm just going to leave it here until I figure that out. But if you're in a small shop like a garage, I know from experience you really need to budget that space and find out where you're going to put it, maybe even plan ahead. So as far as the build goes, this machine is fairly simple to put together. It took me about 4 hours one day and about 6 hours the next day, with a few interruptions, of course, because I'm running the shop here. But it was pretty simple overall. I did have a few hang-ups because I'm just not experienced at building machines like this, but I think that was really good to give me an understanding. Like I said, putting this together, I now know how it works because I actually put those parts there. So if there's a problem, I think it'll be a lot easier to diagnose and fine-tune it having put it together myself. The mechanics are very simple on this. The instructions that Inventables has on their websites, they have a set of video and written instructions, are really good. There are a few spots where there's deficiencies, but if you read through the instructions and watch the video before you start assembling, most of the time it comes together pretty easily. I struggled the most probably with the wiring, and it's just because I'm not good with wiring. I can actually solder really well, but putting the different circuit boards together, it really made me nervous having all those fragile little pins and things. So I really took my time. I watched the video a couple times and I read the description a couple times, and I was 99% sure I was doing it right when I did it because of what I did ahead of time. And when I first ran this machine and did the configuration and the testing, everything worked perfectly. So it was nice to know that my time spent paid off on this. One of the first things I'm going to do is build a separate box for the control unit. You can see it here, and it's all fastened together, but it's fairly clumsy. It's got a lot of wires sticking out in multiple places, and it looks fragile to me. So I want to kind of enclose it, not enclose it to where it can't get air, but enclose it to where it's protected in case something falls over or a board gets set on it or whatever. I'm going to do that when I locate my final spot for this, because I'm assuming it'll be underneath it or to the side of it or whatever, because you're going to always need that computer there as well. One thing when you're installing this is you really want to pay attention to the two sizes of X CARVE. A lot of the instructions are for the 500 millimeter, and they list the 1000 millimeter either in the written description or as a flash on the screen for the video instructions. So you want to make sure and pay attention to that. If you're not sure, don't be cutting belts or wires until you are sure of that. So once I got this thing all assembled and I did my first cut, it actually was this little TV guide. And if you're assembling one of these, or if you're playing around with easel, you'll see that this pops up as like a recommended first cut. I was super impressed because it cut the first time, no problem. I did have a loose wheel, which I spotted and fixed. And when I did the calibration, my Z-axis was a little crooked, so I was able to fix that and straighten it up, and it really cut nice. Then I was just playing around with text and the different images that are in easel. I just wanted to see how it works. I wanted to try the line versus cut on the inside, and you can see this mushroom guy here. This is the inside cut, and this is the on the line cut, and what you're doing is just removing that material. So it's really important, I think, to play around with the different cutting methods, the different cutting thicknesses, and the different end mills. That way, as a rookie, I can figure out which way is best for my actual projects. I know it's going to be a lot of trial and error. So having put this together and having made a few cuts now, I can give a first impression. Of course, I'm not super experienced because that'll come with time, and I'll do more videos in the future, but my first impressions are I really like this machine. I had purchased a smaller CNC router from China, and not being a guy who is really into computers and different softwares, it was really tough for me to understand the software, and I had to convert things and this and that. With easel, it's super easy to go from image or text to cutting very quickly. And I appreciate that. Being a simple guy, I just want to just put my plan out and get to cutting and move on. So that is a really nice feature. Probably the best feature for me is that software because of my difficulties in the past. The machine is well built, it's simple. I think if there are problems down the road, it'll be easy to fix or repair, which is nice. It's not overloaded with parts that are complicating. It's fairly streamlined as far as the way it works. So having had Inventables on my radar, at some point I probably would have purchased a X CARVE. I really want to thank Inventables for giving me one to use, so it's been a lot easier that way. But having spent money on a CNC before and now having this one, I would highly recommend this. Like I said, for the software sake, included, easy, and the ease of assembly on the machine. You can configure it any way you want and then just assemble it, and you have your exact machine that you want, size-wise and performance-wise. So it's been a lot of fun building the machine and getting to try it out. I've got just an overload of ideas in my brain that I'll be working on. I won't kill you guys with videos, but there will be more in the future. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so, and that way you don't miss a thing. Have a great day.